On Fit to Box channel, I review the complete spectrum of price and quality. Today, I review these. They're super cheap and total shit. Hello and welcome to Fit to Box channel. I'm Simon, full-time boxing coach, and here on Fit to Box channel I review all things boxing equipment from the top gear to the very bottom gear, and unfortunately today we are concentrating on that bottom gear. So here I have in front of me is a pair of Lonsdale Contender boxing gloves. Okay, and you might be thinking, why am I reviewing these? Now the reason I'm reviewing these is because on the channel I need to show the full sort of range of boxing gear that is available. Obviously I love to review the great stuff, the fantastic stuff, the superb stuff. But in balancing that, especially when it comes to my price divisions, I have to show how good those things are in comparison to other things that are available on the market. And these are available on the market. So as you can see, you've got there Lonsdale, and they've got there with the famous Lonsdale Lion, and it's Lonsdale of London. And this used to be in the sort of the 50s and the 60s in London, quite a boutique shop. Unfortunately, over the years the brand has been cheapened, and now they're sort of just the staple of Sports Direct, whereby they sort of, you can buy any sort of Lonsdale gear that is really cheap and not very good quality. So as you can see there, in the background I've got the Lord Lonsdale belt. You've got the Lonsdale Lion there. You can see sort of the tradition, you can see the heritage of this brand. Okay, so Lord Lonsdale, look him up on Google and to sort of his input into the boxing game. And also if you look on Google for Lonsdale, you will see pictures of Muhammad Ali wearing Lonsdale t-shirts, and also Henry Cooper wearing Lonsdale gear. But there we come to an end when it comes to sort of the past and the sort of the present. And this is the type of gear that has dragged Lonsdale down. Now Lonsdale have got some top end gear, and I have sort of reviewed that in the past, but this is the lowest of the low when it comes to price and also quality. So let me just show you there, and I'll bring it round. As you can see, they're a very sort of flimsy glove. These are, you know, you can literally see there's no support in these gloves, and I'll go through every aspect of these gloves. So let's just go on to the highlight of them really, and that is the bag. Okay, so here they do give you quite a really good quality bag where you've got the mesh there, and the zip seems of good quality as well, and it's got some plastic there, and I'll read out what it says. But it says Contender boxing glove designed for beginners. I agree with that, but not beginners in boxing, perhaps cooking or something. A perfect introduction to boxing and fitness. Perfect is a strong word, but it does say club, advanced and pro, and it definitely puts these down as club. Okay, I wouldn't use these in any boxing club at all, I have to say. Or I may take them to a chess club, but again, probably not even good for that. It says the brand of champions, large and XL. So it doesn't say on here that these are 16 ounce, but I will come to that. Then it's got Lonsdale of London, and at the top there you've got up to 50% off, $19.99, recommended retail price, only $9.99. So these are super cheap. And on the back here, you've got a picture of the gloves, and it says M-Core mesh moisture wicking inner palm, providing ventilation and regulation of the temperature to optimise performance. They're on about that bit there, which to be fair, that's probably the best part of these gloves. And then you've got all these words here, and none of it is basically in English. It's all in different. It's just loads and loads of different national country dialect on there. It has got all warning, all fight sports or contact sports Any contact sport can be dangerous and result in serious injury. That is true if you're going to use these gloves especially. When training or competing, you can't compete in these, you can barely train in them. Be sure that you're in good physical condition and under expert supervision. This equipment will provide limited protection. That is very true, very true. If that's the small print on the back there, the small print is saying limited protection, very limited protection. But will not protect you against serious injury. That's 100% true. Anyone using this equipment must assume the risk of injury. I would say that that is the truest part of the whole of that bag. But yes, the bag is a definite plus. When you're paying £9.99 for these gloves, at least when these collapse and go to pieces, you'll have a bag. So let's just go on to here as well. So as I bring that round for you, and let's also read the description. Lonsdale Contender Boxing Gloves. These Lonsdale Contender Boxing Gloves have been crafted with high impact foam padding. No, they haven't. High impact foam padding. That's rubbish. To protect your hands. Again, rubbish. And offer comfort. Complete rubbish. All whilst the touch and close tape fastening supplies a secure and precise fitting. What? A lot of rubbish. And then the mesh panel inserts under the thumb and the fingers. As I've said, that's the best part. Apart from the bag, that bit there is the best part of the glove. Okay. And then it says, will also keep your hands cool. Well, as you're using them and they start to like break down, there's going to be holes appearing in these. And as you can see, there's already, I've hardly used these, there's already a hole there that you can see that is appearing. I would suggest that it wouldn't be the mesh palm that's keeping your hands cool, but the holes that are going to appear in the sort of synthetic leather that these are made of, more likely. So then it says size medium is small medium, that's supposed to be 12 ounce to 14 ounce. Okay, and these are of course large, extra large size, and they're supposed to be 16 ounce or the equivalent to 16 ounce to 18 ounce. Okay, I'm going to bring in a 16 ounce glove there from Fly, and of course this is a much higher price glove and a much better glove, but you can see that Lonsdale's XL 16 to 18 ounce equivalent is nowhere near the size of a normal 16 ounce glove. And also when I come onto the weight, these weigh massively under, which of course does also mean that they're very unsuitable for what they're supposed to be made for, which is boxing. Okay, so these do come in red and white, they come in black and white, and they are a cheap synthetic leather, probably the cheapest synthetic leather that you can get. Recommended retail price of £19.99. I can't imagine anyone paying £20 for a pair of gloves like this. Places like Sports Direct do them for £9.99, and if you've only got a tenner, I wouldn't buy these, even if you've got a tenner. I'd save up and get some better boxing equipment in a couple of weeks, or just go to McDonald's and get a couple of Big Macs or something. The Big Macs will last longer than these gloves. So as I'm just showing you there, £9.99 I spent on these, and I will never get that money back. And I don't like throwing money away, but I certainly have with these. So let's just refer back to, so as I say, Lonsdale do much better, higher gear. These are sort of the lowest of the low. They do good standard boots actually for beginners. So they do the contender boots. And if somebody comes to the club and they want to start boxing, they want to have the first boxing boots, I'll say go to Sports Direct, get some boxing boots, £35, £40 Lonsdale, and they'll do the job. And that is totally true, and I do like those boots for that price point and also the quality you get for those. But the brand has massively been cheapened over the years, and it is a real shame, because at one point that did mean something, and now it means something totally different. So let's just have a look around these gloves. You've got a knuckle there with very little protection. The synthetic leather is already going, as I say, just in that little bit there. You can see there's a hole appearing. I've hardly used these. Let's just have a look on here. Yeah, you can already see sort of the signs of strain in that area in particular as well. These will go, I'd imagine these will go in several areas all at once before they just peel off your hands and fall to the floor. Okay, so always make sure that you're wearing hand protection when you've got these on. When I was using them, I put my Fortress hand wraps on. Normally I'll put normal hand wraps on. I couldn't risk my hands hitting stuff without the very best protection, which obviously the Fortress hand wraps and the fast wraps are great. Better knuckle protection, and I put them on with these, and I'm glad I did. I did feel at least a little bit protected, even if it wasn't from the gloves. So then you've got, on the thumb, you've got that M-core mesh, as I say, the best bit of the gloves. You've got a synthetic attachment. You can already see, there's like a thread there coming out as well. And the thumb, it's not particularly comfortable in the thumb area. On the wrist, you've got this sort of, there's no protection on the wrist at all. Hardly any padding at the front, hardly any padding at the rear. Then you've got this small Velcro at the front. There's little bits of cotton sticking out already. That is with that elastic, which is potentially, for me, the worst Velcro fastening you can get is when it fastens at the front. And of course, what people do, I'll see this all the time, not only with these, but with these front fastening elastics. People pull them like that, cross like that. Oh, didn't even stick. Like that, and then they start to spar, and of course you've got to stop that, because if that rubs against someone's eyeball, then you've got potential problems. So you always have to lay it on the front there, but in that position provides absolutely no wrist support whatsoever. It's a bit like a hand puppet, really, more than a glove. But yeah, no support in that wrist. On the face of the glove, you can open your hand fine. I love gloves where you can open the hand. This is, well, you can open your hand because there's no structural integrity to the glove. You just open your hand and the glove goes with it. But I will give the benefit of the doubt there. You've got that M-core mesh. You've also got a grip bar, which could easily be spaghetti. There's nothing to that grip bar. You certainly can't feel it. Not very good. As I've said, the stitching for a £9.99 glove, it is stitched. I'll give it that. But it's already coming to pieces. I can't really say anything about the construction of these gloves. The synthetic leather will be ripping as you punch with them. So then you've got the lining. Okay, you've got like a scratchy lining. I actually think that the outside material will fall to bits before the lining. So does that mean that I'm recommending the lining? Not really. But it is better. And then inside you've got large XL, which is comical. Then you've got made in India. Okay. So that's there. So let's have a look at how much these weigh. So the Lonsdale Contender gloves, they are sort of badged up as large to extra large, and that's supposed to be the equivalent to a 16 ounce or an 18 ounce. I'll just put on the left 5.1 ounces, which is absolutely shocking for a glove that is supposed to be large, extra large, 16 to 18 ounce. People are going to put that on and they are going to start to spar in 5 ounce gloves. I think that is criminal. And then this one, 5 ounce as well. I mean, that is absolutely shocking. Okay, so yes, you've just seen there that these are majorly underweight. I mean, we're not talking sort of 2 or 3 ounces. We are talking ridiculous that these gloves can be even said to be large XL stroke 16 ounce, 18 ounce when they are in fact nearer to 4 or 5 ounces. And that leads me on to some major problems when it comes to the use of these, especially if you have got somebody that's using these in sparring and they are literally using 4 to 5 ounce gloves in sparring, and they could easily point to the label and say these are large, extra large, and that is totally wrong, especially in a sport like boxing where you've got safety is of the utmost importance. Okay, so let me just put them on. Comfort wise, okay, they're comfortable in the way that an oven glove is comfortable, okay, because you've got about as much protection as if you've got an oven glove. Yeah, you can open the hand. There's just nothing to them to be really that uncomfortable. When I was using them, behind there really did start to scratch on the front there. The lining's all a bit like baggy, so my fingers are moving. I can move my fingers from side to side in there. The thumb sort of sticks out a bit. The knuckle protection, you know, it actually presses on the back of the hand there. It's not going to provide much knuckle protection for much time. And then, of course, you've got that ridiculously floppy wrist as well. So there's no sort of structural support in these gloves. Let me just take off this one. Again, same again. It's just... The reason I'm doing this is because people who don't know about boxing, people who don't know about boxing gloves, you know, they may very well go into a Sports Direct. They may very well think, oh, these was £20. I'm having a bargain at £10. And it's just a shame because those people are being deceived, because these are no more than toys, really. They certainly are not proper boxing gloves, which kind of, if on the bag and if on the website they were saying, you know, describing what they really are, which is not proper boxing gloves, then that'd be fair enough. But on the website and also on the packaging, it's kind of indicating that they are, and they're just not. So when it comes to sparring, I would say definitely not. In fact, if you look across the ring and your opponent is wearing these, you need to be shouting across to the trainer to say he can't wear them against me. Okay, because these are ridiculous. Okay, the weight, the padding, the wrist, and also, as I've said, pulling of that Velcro too far, which is what will happen. Okay, that will happen. People do that all the time. And so, you know, you can't spar in like 5 ounce gloves. The padding is not going to protect your opponent. It's certainly not going to protect your hands and that wrist as well. You may very well cause yourself an injury that you might never recover from because these are the gloves. Okay, so on the bag, these are not going to last. These are literally an injury waiting to happen. So, as always, I do the scorecards, the Fit to Box scorecards. These are going to enter into the Fit to Box featherweight Velcro price division for gloves less than 50 English pounds or $60 US or less. And I have gone style 29, comfort 28, durability 25, sparring 23, bag 29, and value for money 23, and I've done that on the 19.99 RRP. I don't think they're worth much more at $9.99, which is what I paid for them. They are made in India, and so it comes as no surprise that there is no Fit to Box stars for these. These are I haven't got a category very poor, but I am going to say these are a poor glove at 26.1. For sparring, absolutely no way. For bags, these are not going to last long. For fitness classes, I'm not really going to recommend them for fitness classes. In fact, I don't think that even if you started shadowboxing in these, they're not going to last that long. So, also, what I would say to you is people will sort of look at them and think, well, I'll buy them for the kids. And I don't see why you should try and damage the kids' hands either. They really are not fit for purpose. If you're getting some kids' gloves and you want to spend, under £20, I mean, there is RDX gloves out there that are much, much better than these. So it's a total avoid for me when it comes to these. And there is an old saying that says, buy cheap, buy twice. For these, I'd like to adapt that saying by saying, buy these, buy 10 times, and you'll break your hands and your wrist as well. So if I was you, I'd use that. Keep that in mind when you look at something like this. They certainly are absolutely rubbish. Cheap gloves, avoid, avoid, avoid. As I say, the carry bag is better than the gloves. But I will try to just announce now. And the new lowest scoring fit to box boxing glove ever. The Lonsdale Contender boxing gloves. Okay, now my advice is if you're going to buy some gloves low end, there is, under sort of £40, £30, £35, you can go Velo, you can go Venom, you can go to Decathlon and get a decent pair of gloves for that. You can go RDX. I would say just avoid these. And if you have got a pair of these, I'm not doing this video to offend you. They're not going to last that long anyway. But what I'm really trying to do is for those people that are thinking they're getting a bargain at £9.99, or even if they're £19.99, there is no bargain when it comes to these gloves. They are absolute rubbish. So I hope you enjoyed that. Please like and subscribe to Fit to Box channel, and I shall chuck these in the bin.